You know, looking out upon the peaceful, rolling sea of the Mediterranean, sometimes it's hard to remember where we really are in life. And in this life, we're on the battlefield. But what battlefield are we on? We see the ocean, we see the sand at our feet. Let's find out where we are. Let's turn and take a look. You see a great lighthouse in the distance, the walls of some great city, and this city is Alexandria. Welcome back, everyone, and this is Ellington, and we are back on Total War Rome 2, and we have got ourselves a 3 versus 3. So this is an in-house match here, sent in by Big Bees, who is commanding Galatia. So for the rest of the defenders, we've got Iceni, no, Syracuse. Excuse me, Syracuse here. There's an Iceni somewhere around here. Syracuse being commanded by Saturate, and finally Egypt defending their city, being commanded by Kirky. Now for the attackers, we've got Arverni being commanded by who's Mr. Bubbles. We've got Iceni. See, there's Iceni. I told you there was one. Being commanded by Pedro Sor. And finally, Carthage attacking the settlement here on the other side of Africa. Carthage being commanded by JJJ. So this one, when I see players like this in the game, I know that it's going to be a good one. I know that we've got some high-skill players on the battlefield, which means that we're going to see some good tactics here. I would expect to, typically, I'm honestly surprised that the battle is this long, because typically battles with players this good don't typically go super long, just because they tend to be very fast, very quick battles. Skilled players, they don't tend to, piddle dick around and kind of hang out and take their time. Most of the time, your skilled players are going to be pretty fast on the draw. So I'm intrigued to see how this one goes. Thought maybe we had something coming out, but we do not. We are thankfully looking from the defender's perspective, which means we can see pretty much everything. Got Egypt pretty much defending. It looks like he's taken this whole left side. Got Galatia, seems to be kind of going mid, with Syracuse holding the right. I think that's the right call. So Syracuse can't really bring much better than just standard archers, but they can bring slingers. Balearic slingers would have a pretty good time over here with those shots, and then also using this wall to shoot into the attackers. But typical strategy for Alexandria, you tend to see an attack onto this area here with typically a light push to the right. And as they take this courtyard and put pressure here and here, then you tend to see the attackers start to put pressure upon this wall here. Usually most people do not blow down these walls until later, just because, there's no real reason to give the defenders another way to annoy you, right? The more breaches, then the defenders can be annoying. They can send units out. They can sneak a cav unit out. So now you have to, as an attacker, you have to now watch this wall. Now we don't, right? At this point, we don't have to do that because there's no way for them to get out. The only way the defenders can come out is through this gate right here, and it's really annoying. Further back, sorry about that. So let's see how it goes. I mean, really, that's in the end the best thing we could say here, right? Iceni seems to be leading off here. We got Sword Band going right off the bat. Got Galatian swords here from Galatia holding this choke point here, being backed up by, let's see, we got one Celtic Slinger, some more Galatian swords, Thorax Hoplite, Levy Freeman, and it looks like they're just going to hold right here. I think, have they destroyed, I don't think they've destroyed the Colosseum yet, so Egypt should be careful. Egypt's got a unit sitting right on the base of this thing, and it does not look destroyed. It might already be, but... I mean, it does have... You can see there are some destroyed stalls next to it, so maybe it has. So we had a good jabby toss from one direction. 22 kills on that sword band. Wow. And then I think the Galatian swords dry fired. They tried to turn around and fire back at the sword band, but I don't think they got the volley off. Sword band at 30 kills now. Wow, just whoa. Just melting this Galatian sword. You got Britain slingers had come in to the wall and they were slinging into him as well. Okay, so the Galatian sword has steadied. He's at 107 men, excuse me. Ooh, here we go. So Cretan archers from Egypt are getting shot, and it doesn't look like he realizes it. He's moving a unit now, but he's not moving his archers. Gallic hunters taking shots here. Now, interestingly, this little cubby is not going to be as useful for them at the moment. Typically use this little cubby to shoot right over here. So what you tend to see is a defense there, and then these guys are able to shoot right into the back. But because of where they're holding, they can't really do that anymore. So it could be that he was just trying to use that to shoot off into the attackers as well. But good job by Arverni using his Gallic hunters and zoning out those Cretans, getting rid of them. Got another Galatian sword coming in to back up the first one. First one's at 33. Wait, hold on. Did he switch it? Yeah, he switched it. 30 kills, but the other one's already at 34 kills. So this one doing far better than the first one did. The first one did not have a good time, but the second one seems to be doing pretty solid. Looks like Iceni also switched out, so good unit management here. At the moment, this is really where the main amount of the kind of attack is happening, is right in this spot. We don't really have anything on the right quite yet. Don't really have anything on the left quite yet either. I'm intrigued. If I want to know, is Arverni bluffing, or are they actually going to push this? So what it does is, so you can see as we talked, they're defending right here, right? But if Arverni actually does put pressure here, it can expose the back end of this defense. But to be honest with you, Egypt's got a lot of stuff back here, man. I don't know that Arverni has enough in this force to take this if Egypt really wanted to hold it. And I'm be honest with you, if I was Egypt, I wouldn't give it up. You really do not want to expose the back end of this defense over here. So I bet you Egypt holds this area with tooth and nail. When the swords break, when the armor fails, they will still be defending that area, I bet you. Not saying that they won't get pushed out, but they definitely will not be walking out. So Carthage actually now pushing forward. To be honest with you, I'm not too surprised. The defenders did not decide to defend this area, so they can already put pressure here if they want. And so Carthage is honestly probably not too far off. It's starting to put some pressure here, getting his archers over, starting to create some gaps in the wall to open up the opportunity to push there. Got a Galatian legionary coming up already, so, you know, Galatia is ready to get into this fight. Galatian swords. Or that 117 kills now. Very nice. Is that the... I wonder if that's the first unit. Where did... There used... Oh, wait. Hold on. It looks like one of them must have broke. 125 kills on it, though. Sword band, 119. And now all the jab... Oh, no. Owie. So is that 16 from that one volley? Maybe not from the one volley, but he, yeah, looks like he's at 16 kills. Sometimes the artillery kills sometimes take a moment to register, so that's why you kind of sometimes have to hover over it for a moment to see as those kills start to kind of ramp up. And here we go, we've got an archer exchange. Gallic hunters up from Arverni, Cretan archers up from Egypt. Now, Arverni has set up a little bit of an arrow shield here. He's got his towers moved up. What I think he's, it should help him be defended from the volleys of these Cretans. Then he's got two Gallics over here. They don't really have a job right now. There's not really anything that they can shoot. And even if they could, it wouldn't be a very good angle. It is keeping this area here slightly zoned out, so I guess that is one benefit to it. You can see he gave up shooting at this. There's no point. Those towers are absorbing all of the ammo.
Stop! Break off!
Oop, Celtics charging in on some thorax. There you go, some good screenshots there. All right, here we go, standard procedure. Shield wall to the right, Javies to the left. If you're new to the game, or maybe you're new to multiplayer and you're curious what the current meta of the game is, this is it. This is prime example. It's Javies, Javies, Javies. You use one unit to tie down the enemy, then you line up another unit thin next to it, and you Javy into the flank of the enemy unit. It is extremely painful, and it sucks. The only way to stop it, honestly, is basically just to do it yourself. You basically have to try and keep a unit here while you send a unit to tie down the other one. That is why you see, if you play with any of the really experienced players, you will hear a terminology quite a bit called battle buddies. It's not a term I use a whole lot, but they do quite a bit. And that's typically just basically ensuring that you always have another unit supporting your unit. You can see they're always in twos. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. It's always making sure that your units have support from other units so that you can cycle, you can Javy, all things like that. Those are very important. If you ever want to know how to get just that slight, that get over the hump of kills, right? Is just get it a bit more kills, is making sure you use your Javies. If your unit dies with a ton of Javies left in it, you just literally have wasted free kills, right? It's free kills, it's free, hit point damage. So try and use those Javies as best as you possibly can. You can see we had a couple dry fires there. Now remember, each, typical infantry units only have 2 ammunition for javelins, okay? There are some units that have more. Typically, they're things like your thorough spears, your mercenary Iberian swordsmen, or Iberian swordsmen, things like that. They tend to have your 5 javelins. Then you have a special unit in the Royal Peltis, which has 3 ammunition. That's pretty much how the gist of that goes for your infantry. But, that can be 20, 30, 40 kills sometimes on your infantry. That's free, right? You don't use it. It is incredibly useful, and it is a small little detail that will take your game to the next level. Here we go. They're doing it again. See that? You see how he popped that shield wall? Galatia shield wall, and then his Galatian sword on the other side. I seen he tried to sneak around and get into him to stop it, but he wasn't quite able to get there, but it did cause the Galatian sword to drop back a little bit. We got a chosen sword band ready in support, more sword band. Now here on the right, we've got Arverni coming in. We've got chosen swords going to get some Levy Freemen. On the right side, they did, okay, so they have busted down their first corner wall here. So that does begin to open up the options on the back side. Now, once again, obviously Arverni can't see this, but you should suspect that there are units here, right? Especially since you haven't seen very much of Egypt and you have seen units filtering over. You can expect that they've got units over here. So I'm intrigued to see how hard Arverni actually pushes this, because I think it's going to be a difficult push. Arverni's Ballista 35 kills, Carthage at 10, and I think that's all they've got here. Here we go, some mercenary Balearics coming up from Syracuse. I think they might be trying to set up to counter off the Britain Slingers, possibly. On the right, they haven't quite done anything. They're not attacking into the breach yet. And honestly, it doesn't look like the defenders really plan on holding this very much. It seems like they're kind of holding more out here. I'm a bit surprised that they're giving the... You can see the control zone. I'm surprised they're giving that up. I would have expected... I guess they kind of have to, because if they set up like this, they expose themselves to archer fire from there. Which is unfortunate, because that does mean that they're going to lose control of that gate. Or at least it'll be neutralized, which, I mean, in reality, all that does for the attackers at this point is just stop them from getting shot. Here we go, Chosen Sword Band. Actually kind of getting in behind the line. Sorry if you can hear that, I had to readjust my headphones. Galatian Legionaries, though, 143 kills, almost got a chevron. I don't know if they'll catch it. They're close. You can see that little green bar in the bottom left-hand corner there. The other Galatian Legionary, 100 kills, but Javi's coming from behind here. Let's get in, give you a close-up look. So I try, sometimes I mix this up as well, but I do try to be correct on my terminology. A lot of times you'll hear people just say Pila, 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 Pila. But Pila was very specific, the weapon, the Pilum, was very specific to Rome. And you could see that with these guys, they're not using Pila, they're using just javelins. And I always catch myself using it. You can see the javelin just is a stick with a pointy end. Pilum were not sticks with pointy ends. They had a very long, narrow, like, neck to them that was made out of iron. That kind of led up to the head of the Pilum. If we had a Rome, I would show you what I'm talking about, but unfortunately we don't. Very unfortunate. And I would be, let me know, someone may know if anybody else after Rome started using the Pilum. I'm not sure if anybody else started using it afterwards. But I do think it would be odd if everybody in the game here all had actual Pilum. I think that would look pretty odd. And I know eventually, if I remember correctly, Rome actually zones out the Pilum too. I think they get rid of it. If I remember correctly, when you get into the Imperial Rome, actually, I think they start eventually just wielding spears more often than they do Pilum. If we have any bigger history nerds than I am, let me know. I'm pretty sure I'm correct on that, but somebody, oh, ouch. Somebody might be able to give a more correct like terminology or time period as to when that happened. Man, the Galatian Legionary, oh wait. Okay, he had 155. I thought he only had, it was the Galatian Sword that had 103. I thought it was the Galatian Legionary breaking it at 103 kills. I was like, ow, that's really painful. Oh. Honestly, Egypt kind of got lucky. He got hit right there, but all the other ones skipped right by him. What are we at here? 58 kills so far. I saw Carthage got a hit, but it looked like it was mostly on his own men. 25. Ouch. I really wish that there was like you know, if next to the kills it showed friendly fire. Wait, where did that come from? Was that Arverni again? Yeah, it was. Huh. So he's aiming back here now. Wonder if he's suspecting that there's units piled up back here or something. Because as you can see, they can't quite see it. You can see all the little eyeballs. That means they're hidden. Okay, so Galatia is moving up. Remember we were talking about the battle buddies? Well, this Galatian legionary was all by himself. But we do have one moving forward. I wonder if he'll just set up here on the right. Actually, what I suspect will happen is that Galatia will shift, and this guy will go here to use his javies. You want that when you're looking at the enemy. You want to be hitting from over here, because you can see, let's get down close by here. See, that's where their sword hand is, right? So if you're hitting from over here, you've got their shields to deal with. All right, so this one, he dropped shield wall, 72 kills on it. What about the Iceni here? 72, 142. Oh, there they are. Even with the shield side, it still gets pretty good kills. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I feel like Sometimes I feel like those artilleries were coming in very odd. Like that one looked like it came from over here, and obviously there's nothing over here. 59 and 25 still. So far, I'm not gonna lie, not great kills so far. I'm curious as to what they end at, but I definitely would be wanting to see a bit more kills on those artilleries. Look at that, almost even, 72 and 73. Another one coming in, 65. Oh, here we go, some Libyan infantry coming in from Carthage, 38 kills so far. Sorry about that, hit the wrong one. Libyans actually turning around now. A lot of javies from behind, see all that? This is where all the action is. Right here is where, like, half of the battle so far has taken place in this one spot. Got a little bit of a push coming over here, but it doesn't seem to have been near as aggressive or, you know, hard of a push as that center one. That center one's been hard. Then we got shots coming in over here. Libyan infantry. Syrians at 51. I am a little surprised that they haven't put any pressure over here. But it could be, honestly, mostly due to the fact that it's a 3v3. They may not have as many troops to put that pressure to the left. Now, Galatia was able to save his ballista. He's got one kill. He still has a ballista crew. So I'm wondering if he's holding on to this for a later date or later time, I don't know why I said date, to turn around and hit the attackers. Maybe he's using it just in case they do attack this. Because then if they attack that, man, they can get some good shots. Arverni's still at 59. I don't think he's shooting. I don't think he's shot in a while, actually. I think he's tired of wasting shots over here and not getting too many kills. Ooh, Balearic Slinger's now getting shot by the Syrians. And so far it doesn't look like Carthage notices either. He's still sitting. Another volley. Yep, there it is. There it is. Now he's moving. And then we've got two Cretans moving forward, it looks like. All right, here we go. Some Libyans moving up onto the left side. I spoke too early. All right, so first one, Javitas, Levy Freeman. The other one's not going in yet. He's holding his ground for the moment. So I would love to know, let me know in the comment section, what Total War did you first play? Or if you've never had the chance to play them, if you're just a watcher or never played them on computer or whatever, Let me know what is the first Total War you remember watching on YouTube, on, you know, whoever's channel. For me, the first game I ever played was Medieval 1. So way back. You know, Medieval 1 was the second game that came out. Then I remember playing Rome 1 and Medieval 2, but unfortunately never really had sorry, the brain fart. Never really had a PC that could handle the later games, you know, after that, which was unfortunate. But yeah, so for me it was Medieval 1, and I would love to know what was your first game you played or watched, for those that haven't played, which is okay. Not everybody has. I went like 7 years, 8 years, honestly might even be longer than that I didn't play a Total War game just because I didn't have a computer to do it. So Arverni should get the better of this combat here, although at the moment he is kind of going 3v2 at the moment. We got some shots coming in from the Gallic Hunters. At the moment, he has not pursued this yet. It could be that he is just waiting to create more progress and pressure here and here, which would cause more units to have to cycle over. Then that may create some opportunities here. I'm guessing that is the thought process here. Bubbles, you are going to watch this video. I already know it. So let me know in the comment section, Mr. Bubbles, what was your thought process on your side attack there? Chosen Sword Band. Chosen Sword Band pretty solid. The Glacial Legionaries are better, but they are a little beat up already. Galatia's taken a bit of a beating in that center. He might be running a little bit low on troops. So we got a couple infantry right here. He's got one over there. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have that much. I see one Galatian Legionary, two Galatian Legionaries. He's got like 1.5 in combat. That's it. Galatia's pretty wore out. Syracuse is still pretty healthy. Egypt is decently healthy as well. Carthage seems to have given up on the attack for now. Did I hear a... Oh, okay. For a second I thought I heard the like whistles of like a scorpion. Balearic Slingers are getting shot and I don't think he knows it. Right? I thought I saw a volley come in here. Yeah. He's getting shot probably by this guy right here. Wait, no, by that guy. Yep. $22 kills. Now he's falling back. Why? Is there something I'm missing back here? Yeah, I don't know why he fell back. Why he ran away like that? Because there's nothing that was... I don't see anything that was shooting him or threatening him. Looks like maybe a tiny bit of progress made here in this spot. They honestly even have a small breach. They might be able to get through here. Not a breach, but a grease spot. 122, 170, 0, and 68. Only 1 kill away from perfection. Perfect. Syrians 94 and 6. Celtics at 13. Honestly, if I was Syracuse, I'd be kind of bored, man. Ain't much has happened here. Carthage taking volleys straight into the front of these thorax swords, and I think that Syracuse is kind of like, I mean, okay, if you really want to shoot me in my shield, that's fine. Who was that firing? 36 kills and 151. So Arverni coming out of nowhere and finding some spots to hit. Broken arrow! This, like, Galatia, Iceni fight here has just been a slugfest, man. They came out just throwing haymakers right off the bat, and they have not stopped. Iceni and Galatia really just beating each other up, but Iceni looks healthier at this point. He's got quite a bit of infantry left. Galatia does not look that healthy at the moment. I think he's gotten good quality kills and a decent amount of kills, but he has definitely taken a pretty good chunk of losses here. Okay, Baleric's moving up. What are we going for here, Baleric's? Maybe mercenaries, Katari. Well, there's only 39 of them, so I probably wouldn't waste ammo on them. What are you trying for? I'm honestly curious. This Thorax Sword honestly has been taking losses. Well, now they're just chilling. He may just be in a spot where they can't quite shoot at him. Maybe he's trying to get shots over into the courtyard. Honestly, that's what it kind of looks like. And I think we just saw a command order. Yep, there you go. Well, never mind. Never mind then. So much ammunition being fired into this Thorax Sword. More artillery coming in. See, okay, Syracuse has brought up some Thorax. Iceni's still pretty much handling this center area himself. Carthage has just kind of been chill, man. He's just kind of sitting at the beach, seeing the sights, you know, nothing too crazy. Welcome to Rome 2, where you can have it your way. Just don't be crazy. If anybody gets that reference, you are the best ever. Some Royal Thorax swords from Egypt here. Basically just a fancy Thorax. That's really all they are. Getting some good javi tosses. Levithuros doing the same thing. I don't think that Egypt brought a Galatian Royal Guard, so I automatically have to give him a, you know, penalty on his marks. Yeah, so he brought a lot of Levithuros spears and Thorax swords, it looks like. Look at that Galatian Legionary, 233 kills. Thorax getting some pretty good jabbing kills there. The general has a right to be proud of you, men. This is just a Levy Freeman and a beat-up Galatian Legionary. What is this Levy Freeman at? 71 men, and he's got 33 kills. I bet you that we'll probably see a switch here. I bet you this Levithuros will probably set it. Well, I don't know. He's got 50 kills. Does he even have javies? It doesn't look like it. Seeing the way that he's holding his spear there. So typically when they have javelins left, these Levithuros spears, they'll hold the javi in their hands at all times, and they'll be like pointing to the ground. While the spear, see how the spear is point up. Thorax here with, what, 58 kills? Not too hot for a 61-man unit. Typically, you definitely want to see a bit more than that. Although Thorax are a bit outmatched here by the Chosen Swords. Up on the walls, we got Chosen Swordsmen, and is that a Balearic? Yep, Mercenary Balearic Slingers. Hopping up on them walls. Oh, but they're getting shot up, man. Look at that, 37 men left. Those Cretans and that Syrian saw that, and they said, hell no. Noble Horse of Galatia came out just trying to be mean. These Gallics might be a little bit of pain for the defenders. A lot of time, you know, they do have stalk and snipe, so they're allowed to fire without being seen, and that could be a little bit of an annoyance for the defenders trying to counter Archer.
Get ready!
More artillery coming in, you can hear that in the background there. Artillery, 58 kills, and Arvernian ended at 151. The amount of death that has happened just in this small area is it's pretty ridiculous, not even gonna lie to you guys.
Quick march!
Sure seems to me like the battle will be won or lost through this spot. Syrians 27. Here we go, Carthage with more just shooting right in the face, man. And they'll eventually start getting some kills, but they're definitely not getting as much effectiveness as typically you would expect from it, just because they're literally shooting straight into their shields.
Fire! Stop! Steady your aim!
Ooh, they're actually getting shots. Oh, man. The Egyptian general taking a beating there. I didn't think they'd be able to get that shot with him this close to the Colosseum. Carthage still shooting away, 73 now. It's pretty good. He was at like 59 the last time we looked at it. Aha, here we go. Carthage coming through the breach. Mercenary Scutari leading the way. Then it looks like we've got Samnite warriors. Probably going to come over there. And they're holding one here. This thorax is not going to last very much longer. But they do have support. Don't worry. They've got a couple units right here behind. And then you can see more units ready to move forward. Even got one up here. Looks like a thorax sword. Saw a good Javi toss there. Scutari coming in. Mercenary Scutari, very, very good unit. Is that a new Samnite? Yep. So they have 2 Samnites in now. A couple more depleted units coming in from the courtyard. But Mercenary Samnite of Syracuse coming in with a Javitas right in their backs. Galatian Cav moving around. This Galatian Cav was all the way over on the other side of the map. Now he's all the way over here. It's winded too. Bounce power does seem to be in the attacker's favor at the moment, but it's pretty slim, pretty slim. Arverni's still chilling. They're waiting. He wants it, but he's holding it back. Not really sure what Carthage's artillery is going after. To me, it seems like the shots have been just a bit random. Creighton's 174, 82, and 84. 2 different, is that right? Yep. Still have ammo too, the 187. Look at that. 192 with a chevron. Was he shooting the Levi Thuros? I think that's what he's shooting. Yep, that's what he's shooting. These guys are firing. What are you firing at? Show me. Not really sure what he's shooting at. not sure. Oh, he's shooting up on the wall there. See that? Shooting at the thorax up on the gate. 133, and see that? Oh, yeah. And these guys, I think they're shooting the same thing. And I'm not sure that Syracuse has any idea it's happening. Here we go. Here we go. He waited. He bided his time. He waited for Egypt to continue to commit units to the back end of this defense, thus leaving a smaller force defending here. So Arverni about to walk in here with not very much contestation. All they've got is a bunch of archers and a couple depleted Levy Thorough Spears. Yeah, Arverni's about to just walk in with, like, no problem. Here we go, Thorax coming from Egypt. So Arverni really needs to get another unit in to keep this door open. He's got a door right there, so he needs to get something in, plug that, so that he can, if need be, continue moving units into the settlement. Otherwise, what that's going to happen is it's going to force a withdrawal. I don't know that these guys will get out of this combat, but some of these will be able to leave. Question will be, does Arverni have enough to commit to this? The Cretans getting shots right into the breach. Cheer, you buggers, cheer! That unit shatter? No, he just pulled back. Unfortunately for the attackers, the Thorax able to get in and plug the gap. Carthaginian Cretans are moving. Where are they going? Oh, they're just moving around the side, it looks like. This seems to have solidified pretty well for the defenders. This doesn't seem to be going anywhere. So it looks like the current best spot is over here. Looks like this is where the majority of the attacking forces that were not committed are now committed to this spot. So that does mean that there will be less things to reinforce the other two flanks. Carthage really leading this one off, but we do have a, looks like one Iceni unit and some Britain slingers coming over to help. For the defenders, we got some Mercenary Samnites in the thick, Thorax Samnites, Thorax Hoplites. Yeah, so a couple Thorax Hoplites, pretty solid unit. 58 kills on the general, so the general has been in combat. It's going to be interesting. I'm not sure that Carthage has enough to push this spot. Let's see. Let's take a look at the tactical map here. All right. So you can see Arverni has actually been able to bust some units into the settlement. And then, once again, these two areas pretty well blocked off for the moment. But with this happening behind yeah, you can see. Let's go look at it. So it looks like Carthaginian general and a noble cavalry gen. Once again, not a. We was talking about it in a previous video. The cav gen that you don't see very often broad because it's relatively expensive. Noble cavalry gen, 15 kills, getting in the backs of the defenders here. And Arverni's generals through. Yeah, so this whole side is gone. Noble Cav coming in, trying to get some charges off here. The Noble Horse, General of Galatia, is, holding off some stuff over here while the archers are pretty much all by themselves at the moment. So I'm going to expect we see. Oh, man. What do they have to fall back? Because At this point in time, from what I see, majority of the forces for the defenders are tied up in combat right now. You could probably get the Thorax Hoplite General away, maybe a couple of these units that are piled in. But man, I don't know. Galatian Legionary did a good job slamming the door shut. Not allowing that Noble Cav Gen to sneak around. Alright, so they have broken through. Noble Horse, 93 kills. He's going to charge again. He's going for the Celtics. Oh, jabbing toss right in his face. 111 kills, 15 kills. Not quite breaking it, though. He wavered it. But I think it will solidify. Yes, it does. And then charging the exposed chosen sword as well. Shaken, not stirred. Now he's wavering. It's wavering. And he might solidify as well. 17 men left. And here we go. We got a bunch of Gallic Hunters. We've got an Oathsworn. Don't think to the Gallic 62 kills. I don't think there's... If I was them and I had ammo, I would definitely be shooting at that cavalry gen. Okay, so the Glacial Legionary seems to be pulling back. We've got a Mercenary Sam Knight behind him. Rhodians at 154 kills, 105 on the Syrians, 90. Over this way, it looks like this push is being pushed back. Carthage, once again, I think I said earlier, I don't know that, I wasn't sure if he was going to have enough to make this push realistic, and unfortunately, I don't know that he does. Chosen Swords came to help out. We've got, yeah, it's just a 44-man. Yeah, man, I don't think they've got enough to finish this, so what I expect we may see here... Oh, wait, hold on, I'm dumb. So what I keep doing, I keep mixing up the Iceni flag and the Syracuse flag. So Iceni has multiple units over here, so they should be fine. I thought these were all Syracuse units, and I was like, well, damn, like, I guess they're kind of screwed, the attackers. I'm a little surprised that the, you know, Noble Cav hasn't been trying to get in here more. He just took bad. Ugh. Noble Cav does only have 60 armor. That's one reason people aren't a huge fan of them. And I just think they're too expensive. They're very similar to like a Hippeus Lancer. They're just okay. $63 charge bonus for a heavy, very heavy shot cav is just, it's okay. To think in comparison, a companion cav general for Macedon has 70, I think it's 73. Might be 72, but it's in that area for sure. Something to compare, a Thracian noble, I believe, has the same charge bonus as that noble cavalry does. Yeah, I think this one's stalling for, not stalling, but falling apart for the defenders. Well, what happened? There were more Iceni units. Maybe they broke. Okay, so this Iceni unit is only at 45 men. You guys are gonna be like, dude, you have no idea what you're talking about because I am flip-flopping again. I should have, when I looked at the Iceni units earlier, I should have looked at the counts. Chosen Sword Band, Heroic Nobles, 312 kills with 2 chevrons, and they might get another one. 158 on the General Heroic Noble. Now, Averni he's choosing not to press this. So he is choosing to just come reinforce this, consolidate his forces.
Understood.
He's got another Oathsworn back there as well, 163.
Got riders forwards. Break the gate.
Noble Horse Gen at 184 now. Where did the Carthaginian general go? Did he break? Yeah, he might have.
Riders, forwards!
Bounce power looks to me still in the attacker's favor. But now Noble Horse sneaking through. See that? You got that gap. You went right around, right into the Briton Slingers. Briton Slingers are going to break.
As you say,
Another one's going to break. Chosen Sword might break. Our Varnish General is still alive. What about Iceni? I think his is still as well.
riders, advance! Warriors, move out!
Heroic Noble did get his third chevron.
Disengage!
Oof, man.
Forward!
Okay, so they beat this. Okay, so looks like they're going to try and make their way back to the point.
Speed!
They've got a couple depleted units left. 35 men, 23 men, 53 men, some archers or slingers. I think they're maybe using those Celtic slingers to try and keep this open
Quickly now!
because they're about to get cut off.
Await my word! Understood!
Rhodian slingers around the back here. They may just be kind of forming a rear guard as well as the Syrians. We got a Balearic as well, but they're shooting over into Iceni. Oh, Iceni is cut off. Or cut off Egypt, or Iceni has cut off Syracuse. So now Iceni's units getting towards the point, which means that they should be able to turn around and form up their own defensive line.
Riders, forward!
So I suspect we'll see this unit turn around, probably, maybe not. Still taking some shots from the Celtics, and I bet you these Balearics start shooting into them as well. There's a problem. A decently healthy Oathsworn now moving around. The Oathsworn General is extremely healthy. 130 kills, 151 men left. Very, very healthy. Here comes some dregs of the attackers, some Briton slingers, and the Carthaginian ballista. 103 kills on the ballista. Gallic Hunter's up on the wall, shooting over into the thorax hoplites. Smart move. Good shot, good shot.
What do we say?
I think they might be trying to go, yeah, so they were trying to catch
Gotcha!
the Noble Horse Gen there. Arverni coming this way, Iceni coming this way, but the Noble Horse just able to sneak out of it. And now they got the Oathsworn General. I think this is GG. Yeah, this is it. It's just the General and a bunch of archer units.
Quickly now! Riders, forwards!
And I don't expect that we're going to see all these units try to chase down this Cav Gen. Ridiculous.
Ride quickly now! Riders, forwards!
Noble Horse, 312 kills. Nicely done, Galatia.
Riders,
He's lucky. I don't think Iceni has any javelins left. Otherwise, he'd be just... No shield wall. Interesting, Iceni.
all right! Riders,
Very... you're about 10 minutes late there. Same thing, no javies. 2 chevrons for 178 kills, though. Look at that.
advance!
Nicely done.
All riders, advance!
This Cav is going to be an absolute nightmare to deal with.
Riders, advance!
He actually ended up taking out a decent chunk of that cavalry in there.
Advance at speed!
Well, they might have caught him.
Quickly now!
He's sneaking away. He's getting some good charges in, though.
Say,
Some good charges, some good charges.
no! Riders, advance!
All those units are going to be super, super weak. General's dead. I'm a little surprised that army losses has not begun kicking in yet. They do, I mean, I guess they might have enough to not trigger that, but definitely seems like they're pretty weak on units here. Casualties sustained.
As you say!
Well, yes, that is how war works.
Forwards!
Heroic Noble General is dead, so I believe it is only the Arverni Oathsworn Gen left.
Riders, advance!
Which is okay,
Quickly now!
because Arverni has
Right riders,
actual units
advance!
left, so that a general alive is very important for him.
Riders, forward!
I don't think there's any point in chasing these Cretans here, Syracuse. They really just, main thing, they need to get rid of that cav. Yeah, there it is. And now... Still, wow, interesting. Army losses still not being engaged here. But yeah, I mean, it's it. I think this is going to be a time victory, actually, for the attackers. Yeah, look at that. And there we go. Well, very interesting. Not very often that we actually see timed victories for the attackers instead of for the defenders. So they ended up getting in and actually capturing the victory point for the win. Let's go look at some kills here. So starting off, we have got Saturated Syracuse, 1,917 kills. His Stu Thorax doing pretty good. His Samnites doing really well. All of his Slingers did solid. Big Bees' Galatia leading the defenders, 2,186 kills. His General, 360 with 3 chevrons. Archers all doing really well. So solid across the board. We've got Kirky as Egypt with 1,927 kills. The Slingers and Archers doing very well. Look at that, 236, 261. His infantry, for the most part, just kind of doing okay, but a couple of them performing well. For the attackers, we've got Who's Mr. Bubbles as Arverni with 2,011 kills. We've got 158 on the Oathsworn General, but look how healthy he is. His artillery 151, and for the most part, his infantry did solid. JJJ as Carthage, 1,664 kills. Archers doing one of them did really well, 2 of them doing solid. 106 on a ballista. And the infantry kind of just good for the most part, just okay. Then finally, Pedro Sor as Iceni, taking the real brunt of this attack and just running in that one spot and duking it out with Galatia. He had 2,638 kills. The 2 Heroic Nobles doing very, very well. 354 for 3 chevrons. His Chosen Sword Band doing solid across the board. And even some of the Sword Band doing pretty solid. Well, that is going to be it for today's battle. Thank you guys so much for joining. Don't forget that if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, and we will see you guys next time.